Hey everybody, I know it's been a little while, but to be honest, I haven't really had much luck finding any sort of cool old server or workstations to make videos on, but there is a project that I've been working on for the past little bit, kind of squabbling together and getting some info, and that is how to build the slowest possible Windows 11 machine. Now, there's a few videos of other people online doing this, kind of sort of, but the thing is that with those, they're not exactly the oldest or slowest that you can get. So there's a lot of info and jargon in this, but I've saved all the effort of the research, and I think I've pinpointed it down myself. So in the other videos I've seen is that people are running a Pentium 4 Cedar Mill 65 nanometer, saying that it is the oldest. So if we look here on the Wikipedia chart, you'll see at the bottom there, Pentium 4 661 Hyper-Thread is there 3.6. Now, the thing with that is that it has, I believe, 2 meg of cache. It has 800 frontside bus, and it's 65 nanometers. So I wanted to go older with this and look into the Northwood 90 nanometer generation, the Prescott 2M there. But another thing that's actually slower than these are actually the Intel Celeron. So I actually have a machine running the Cedar Mill, again, the 65 nanometer, the Celeron D352 there, which you'll see that only has 512 meg of cache. The frontside bus is only 533, and the socket, is still 775. So that is considerably worse performance than the Pentium 4, but it's also still 65 nanometers. So I wanted to go older. Now, looking at these charts, comes down to it. There's a construction set called LAHF, SAHF, I believe, which was introduced at the end of 2005 by Intel for their processors. So looking at this chart, it doesn't matter. It needs to be 64-bit. It's got to support a few other instructions that most processors have. But that LAHF thing is the worst one. That's the end of the year 2005. So if we look here in the charts, we'll actually see, besides the Cedar Mill, because all the Cedar Mills support it, these are almost pretty much end of the year 2006. And if we go back to Pentium 4, you'll also see that the Cedar Mill ones are, I'm in the wrong one. You'll see the Cedar Mills are exactly started 2006 throughout mid 2006, and those are all supported. They are still very old, but now if we were to look, you will see a couple processors here, namely the Pentium 4 672, this guy, introduced November 2005, and with our Celeron, you will see a Celeron, there's a couple others, but you'll see here Celeron D355, December 2005. Now, I have the tab open here. Going to the CPU World website, which is very interesting to navigate, you'll see here Celeron D355, but scrolling down, it supports everything, and we will also see, I highlighted it there, has support for this instruction. Now, if we're going to go to the Pentium 4 672, you'll see again, this is indeed the old school one, 800 megahertz, 3.8. I actually have the Pentium 4 670, which is a really rare machine, but you'll see that this is a 90 nanometer. I don't know where it actually says it on here. Somewhere around here. Right there, manufacturing process, 0.09 micron. But if you scroll down on this page, you'll see that it also has support for the LAHF and the SHAF. Same with this, we're back on the Celeron now, but going back up here just to show it as well in my video, you'll see that it also is 0.09 micron, which is the old school, not Cedar Mill. This is NetBurst, and this is Prescott 256. So I believe those processors would work. Now, the only thing is that I don't actually own one of those. Going on eBay, I wasn't able to find one, but if we do a kind of cool pan across, I'll show you my new setup that I got here. Bit of a mess, don't mind it. I got a few things there, an FX system I'm building, 570 GTX. There's a really cool 680 super overclock that's on the bench now. A couple glasses sitting around here. Had some fun last night. Some junk. But here's a system that I'm working on currently. So this is, for now, and for whatever the hell date it is here, July 15, 2023, the crappiest Windows 11 machine that I've seen anybody actually running Windows 11 on. So this right now, I'm going to stop the video because it's not at its prime crappiness, but it's the Celeron D347 3.2 gigahertz. Right now there's 4 1 gig sticks of RAM in it. There's this whatever 9200 GT, and there's a Wi-Fi card that may or may not work. And everything, I see people running these on SSDs. This is running on a 200 gig IDE drive just on the normal bus, but this is all stock right now, but we're going to do worse. I'm going to stop the video and we're going to show the BIOS, and I'm going to show you just how much more awful this thing can get, and we'll probably be back in about 4 hours because it's taking a little while to download. Alright everybody, so this is my world's slowest, crappiest Windows 11 computer. So we have the Celeron D, I believe 347, 3.2 gigahertz. That's running at 100 frontside bus with 1 gig of DDR2 running at 3200 or 300 megahertz, very slow. And we have a 256 megabyte Radeon 9250. So we have the slowest machine now. The slowest possible machine we can get, I was obviously showing earlier in the video there, that is, like I said, this is a 65 nanometer one, so we're going to give this a run here. I'm going to show you the video. You see we got Passmark, brand new Passmark going. This is Windows 11 here. I don't even want to shrink this because I'm worried it's going to crash, but that's the performance of Windows 11. You can see it there. There's no BS, the real deal. You know what, let's make this full screen for whatever reason. See if that doesn't crash it. I don't know if this is going to actually run, but that may have been a bad idea. But yeah, you can see how awesome this performs. Uh-oh. It can't handle the full screen. I want to go to the information here and show you what we're working with. There we go. So here, I'm just going to click this. It is running the 3D there. We're getting between 0 to 4 frames per second. We're just going to click this. I don't know why that opened at the bottom there. But yeah, so here we go here. I don't know if you can see Asus P5LD2 version 1.0. That apparently doesn't support dual cores. I don't know why it's supposed to. Anyway, genuine Intel Celeron D3.2. Doesn't even tell me, but you see the speed there running 2.4 underclocked to 100 megahertz frontside bus. It doesn't show me that. We have one 512 kilobyte cache, not even 1 meg of cache on L2, not L3. It's not L3 cache, it's L2. 512 KB, half a meg of L2 cache. 1 gig of RAM. I did try to run this with a 512 meg. It does not work. You cannot run Windows 11 with 512 meg. It doesn't do anything. You'll just sit there. And then we have, I don't know if you saw in the video, our 200 gig HD blah, 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 whatever. That's a serial ATA, sorry, not to say that, IDE drive. So again, pretty much the slowest I had. You need 64 gigs for Windows 11, which I don't have anything small. I have a 200 gig drive. It's going to be pretty close performance. So again, pretty crappy. I was going to try to run this on a SCSI drive, but I don't know as far as driver. I haven't poked around with that yet. So the video card, like I say, the 9250, 256 meg, it doesn't even show up. But we do have 3D. We have it there with the, like I say, that home, this thing, this is 3D and it's rendering, I mean, really slow, but yeah, anyway, we're going to run this benchmark and see what happens here. And then I'm going to hopefully try to upload it. So let me talk a little bit while this runs, and we'll see what happens, because I don't even know how well this is going to perform, if at all. But I want to get something here, and I want to try to upload it to the benchmark site, because this is running, and this is modern. This is brand new. Whatever the hell it is, July 16. Oh yeah, we're completing tests. There you go, July 16. It's 5 o'clock here, just after. This took an hour. I've been tinkering around this for an hour. Oh yeah, it's running. So the real problem, I think, with this machine is actually well, there's a RAM limitation. 512 meg isn't enough to hold everything. So when the 512 meg was booting into Windows, it would load the background. The background was changing around and stuff. I had icons on the desktop, but I couldn't load at the bottom here. This wouldn't load with the time and everything. It would show up without the icons and the time, and then it would just kind of go away and then reboot. So I think it was trying to load into the memory, but there's just not enough available memory to actually load the Windows Explorer. Never mind actually open and do anything like open up files or the Passmark. So that was useless. I wasn't able to get a running 512 meg memory. So I popped in a 1 gig stick. We got, just like I say, the 1 gig stick in there now. That's running. And then I think another big limitation of this is just the speed of the IDE drive. Now, an issue I have with modern-ish computers, or I wouldn't say modern-ish, but computers running Windows 11 is that they the disk is slow. Like, even I have my work computer, it's I mean, old now, dual 771 Xeon. They're overclocked. and it runs on a SATA 500 gig server SATA drive. And that thing is, like I say, if you do a few things, it'll lag up because of the disk. So definitely SSD is pretty much required to run these. Never mind a SATA 6 hard drive, and never mind a SATA whatever the hell it is, IDE 150. I don't know. I just saw our oh my god, that is awful. I just saw our CPU score there. I wasn't fast enough to read what it said, so we're gonna have to suffer through these 2D graphics tests together just to see how brutal this is. We got the Led Zeppelin. Oh, I want to say it was 83. I'm pretty sure that CPU score was an 83. That would be hilarious. This is supposed to scroll now. This is probably going to take a horrifying amount of time to complete. I don't know if Passmark Test has like a, how do you say, like say the test runs for 10 seconds. It doesn't matter if it scrolls. Like, this might just run for 10 seconds and do like 4 frames and be done with it, or it might have to go, because I know it zooms in on this fonts and text thing in and out like half a dozen times. So I don't know if we have to suffer through that or if it's just gonna stop. I want to say it just stops. I don't know. I mean, this is really, really slow and awful, but it is usable, dare I say. Like, I mean, this brings me back to the old days of Windows XP and like using this platform on Windows XP and it just being like atrociously slow, because this is the performance that you got. I mean, we're just loading simple text and a simple, it's not a super high quality image. It's a so-so quality image, I guess. Back in this would be like a Windows XP right here, this performance. And it's yeah, it's pretty awful as you're finding out. So I'm just curious to see if we're gonna have anything for 3D, because we have that adapter was the basic display Microsoft adapter, but it had 3D. The 3D was running. I doubt it's gonna do anything, but it was there. I don't know. Whether or not we're gonna be able to use it in this test is another question, but yeah, we're gonna see. Actually loads a little faster with that text for whatever reason. I'd have to say, I like this benchmark program. It runs pretty good, but I like the version 9 of it. This is version 11, brand new. But I find the newer versions of this give really like variable results. Like on my own machine, I run a dual 12-core Xeon and 32 gigs RAM, 970 in it still. Haha, video card is old. But that gives me really varying, like it will vary by a couple thousand points for the CPU each time I run it. So I use version 9. I know it's older, but it still gives a more consistent result, I find. But for this, I wanted to do the new version because I want to upload the baseline, hopefully, when it's done. So we'll see. I think we're about 7 minutes into the video now, but actually more like 8. And we are on the first test of the 2D. So we'll see how this goes. I might just let it stop and go through. But these ones, I hate to say, with this program, it's always the video card tests that take freaking forever to do, especially when you don't have a good video card. Like, it's just like this, it's so like, it's slow. Like, just do it once. Like, I got it. It sucks. Give me a result. Bye-bye. But no, I have to read this, the what do you call it there, about the Lorem Ipsum. Oh, there we go. The girl? Is it the girl or is, oh no, this scroll, oh my god, we're gonna be here a while, my friends. We are gonna be here. I gotta stop this. This is bad. This is brutal. All right, I'm gonna stop the video. I think I'll do little bits and pieces of the different tests and then piece it together as it goes, because we're gonna have like a 40-minute video here if not, and I really don't think anybody's gonna want to watch 40 minutes of this thing scrolling at like 1 line per minute. So we'll be back. All right, my friends, we are back. It has completed. Here are the results. We have a 263 for the CPU, a 5.2 for the 2D graphics, 3D graphics not available, none. Memory mark 101.4, which apparently is not available even though it has a score. And then disk mark is 163.9. So these scores are all here besides 3D, which we actually had a 3D test complete, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna do submit baseline. That's click there. We're gonna do okay. Here we go. And computer model is gonna be Dom Extreme Gaming Celeron 775 RGB VR Busta in caps. Anonymous upload. Sure. Upload. Thank you for submitting. Yes, we did it. We did it. So now I should be able to see this baseline of this thing, how terrible it is. I want to compare it with the other computers. How do we do that? Manage baselines. I think it's this button here. So let's search. What do we name it? Busta? Can I just type Busta in here? Oops. Can I just type Busta and it'll show up? Description. You know what? I wonder if it works with, because back in the day I had baselines upload. Yeah, there it is. Dumb Gaming Extreme Celeron. So let's search. We're going to add this to compare. And then we're going to search Dom Xeon. I'm curious to see if my old baselines are in here from back in the day. I would have my Citrix Dom U Xeon. No, I don't think so. Let's do DS Xeon. That's what my old machine was named. Curious to see if that's going to show up, but yeah, it doesn't look like it, unfortunately. So let's do bottom 100. I'm curious to see where mine is. Wow, even this takes forever to load. Let's see. How are these in the bottom when they're like X570 boards and stuff? They're probably not running right. I'm curious to see where ProLiant ML110. That's funny. Even these Vostro 200. That's pretty old with the Pentium E2140, the G31 chipset. That's old. But I wanted to see. These are the bottom 100. Where's the points? Show me the points. Rating 1.3. What was mine? Mine's 135. Wow, these ones are really shitty. How did these get a 0 on the rating? That's got to be. There's something up. Yeah, there's something wrong with those. Those are glitched because those have 64 gigs of RAM and stuff. That's weird. Those are probably just broken. But yeah, regardless, that's pretty funny. Let's compare it. Let's compare it to the current top machines that are running. So it looks like the newest thing, of course. Snowman Ring OC plus PCH plus Mem Ultra TT not stable. Well, apparently that's the fastest freaking machine on here right now. A RAID volume. MSI board of something. Z790. I don't even know what this stuff is. 5.5 on the turbo. Wow, what the hell? These things are nuts. What's the CPU rating? 70,000. My god, I remember I ran 2 6-core Xeons and it got about 12,000 on the CPU mark, and that was like top dog. Look at these things, 70 grand. That is just nuts. Let's compare. I don't know how to do this. Here we go. Baseline 1, baseline 2. I think that's the comparison here. Is that the right one? I don't think so. I think we got to go back into this thing. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I'm just glad that this got uploaded because this is going to be, to me, okay, here we go. So now mine's the bottom and the good one is the top. So you can see the rating comparison there. Well, the only thing that's similar is that we both have the same amount of CPUs. So rating, I love it. 263 versus 70,000. 5 on the 2D versus 3100, 0 versus 50,000, 100 versus 6,000, and the disc mark 163 versus 97.5 on the disc mark. That is nuts. But yeah, this is the, as of today, July whatever 16. This is going to be the slowest Windows 11 machine that I've seen, because I see the other guys running the P4s, which you're going to do better with the Pentium 4. It's the same Cedar Mill. And you have the hyper thread, and you have a faster speed. Like the 661 machines I've seen running on YouTube, those are 3.6 gigahertz, and this is 2.4, and it's underclocked on the front side bus. Those guys are running 800 front side bus. I'm running, so it's 200. It's quad pumped. So those are 200, and mine's 100. So my front side bus is half the speed of, what the hell? The Rosetta Stone. Yeah. Get that thing to decipher how freaking awful this is. And those guys were using SSDs, and they were using PCI video cards. I think the one had a GT610, and mine's got a 9250, so it's considerably worse. So before I end the video, because I'm seriously done doing this, and I'm uploading this, and that's it. And if somebody wants to get one of those crazy 90 nanometer chips and sell it to me, I will pop it in this board, and I will run it, and I will do a benchmark and suffer through another freaking 12 hours of this thing trying to boot up. But yeah, for now, I'm done with this, and I'm going to show you the system and as far as the update, and then that's going to be the end of the video, because I'm fed up with this. System information, yeah, is that a thing? Or, there it is! You can just see how slow this is to use. I was going to do a YouTube video and try to go on YouTube. I'm not trying to do anything with this. It's brutal. With the 4 gigs of RAM, I did have 4 gigs of RAM in a running stock. I was able to go on the internet. I was able to download Passmark. It is usable with the Celeron with 4 gigs of RAM. And I had a PCI, I don't know, 8600 or something in there with just the basic adapter. It did run. Like I say, it's not good, but it did its thing. Another thing with this too is that the menu works and you click open, it doesn't do anything. So I clicked this before a bunch of times and I had like 40 system informations all open up, and that was like not fun. So here's the system info now, if it's going to actually load. Perfect time. Okay, here we go. So Windows 11 Pro, you can see it there. Celeron D, blah, 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 blah. You can see all the stuff here. This is just to kind of prove that it's actually running this. But I wanted to show the update thing, to show that it's running the newest version of Windows. So this was kind of stupid. Thank you. That was 2 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Update. Another thing is that the Windows Update, as soon as you connect this to the internet, it just completely annihilates the machine because it runs, and even modern computers do this. They run the Windows Update, and it is like slow. Like, I don't know if this is activated. I don't think it is, but let's go this update history. I think I did install all the updates and then I paused it because I didn't want it to search, because as soon as it goes to search or try to figure out what it's doing, you got to be real careful with this. If you're running if you're running stuff on this, you can do like one task at a time, and even that's really slow. I love this song. Humpty Dance. Here we go. So I want to just show that it's got the latest version of the Windows update. Well, I guess Windows 11 update, whatever you want to call it, installed, just to show that it's actually doing it. But you can see this thing how slow it is. Like I say, we did the Passmark, we did the baseline, we uploaded it. It did everything I wanted to. So it's a pretty cool little machine. I definitely like it. So it's slow. It's slow, but it works. But if anybody has one of those 90 nanometer, those weird chips, definitely reach out to me, because like I say, I'm in Canada, Ontario, and I will get it off of you. So here it is. Okay, so it's loaded there. I like this. Okay, so I don't even know. Can I click system here? These are the updates. I don't know. I don't really care about these updates. It always is doing something stupid. It's not activated, but whatever. I wanted to show. How do we about? I think about is the one that shows the different info on it. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. Here we go. Celeron D. There you go. Yeah, with the speed, 1 gig of RAM, product ID system, Windows 11 version 21H2. So that is, I believe, the newest one. I don't know. Like I say, if we went to update there, and here I'll even show you. We went to update, and it was on there with the update. But anybody watching this video who's got those, or anybody in general, if you can build a slower, crappier computer than this and run it, I challenge you to do it. So, but here's our thing. Updates paused. I did pause the updates. Everything was installed. Let me just click resume, because it's like I say, it's the end of the video, and I don't really care at this point. There you go. You're up to date. It said it right there. I was going to check and spend 20 hours checking for that anyway. But yeah, that's all done. Like I say, if anybody, I challenge y'all to build a machine slower than this. It can be done. If you have one of those older 90 nanometer chips, it will be worse, especially if you underclock it. That will beat my chip for slowness. I don't know if it will run because I don't have it. This thing is really bad and really slow, but with the crappier CPU, it should still work. Now, I'm using 1 gig of RAM DDR2 underclocked. It's possible you could have a DDR1 board with 1 gig of DDR1, but I mean, that would probably actually be quicker because the latency is lower for the DDR1, and the speed is gonna be, even DDR1, I think the slowest you can get is, oh, I'm trying to think now, you got me. I wanna say DDR333, but this is DDR2 300, so it's gonna be higher latency and a lower speed, so I think you'd actually be quicker with your DDR. I don't know that one though. Again, I don't have a DDR board to try it, but if you had one of those weird old chips, a weird old board with a gig of DDR1 and the similar kind of crappy PCI graphics card, you could probably beat me with your slowness. But yeah, I'm uploaded. Here we go. This is that. As I know, currently the world's slowest Windows 11 machine. There we go. The drive, the card, the single gig of RAM, and the whiny. Actually, you know what? I think we ran that power supply so much that the whininess stopped. But yeah, and don't forget my Bugs Life mouse that I had since a kid. Woo, it works. And then I ate the mouse ball, so it has no mouse ball in it. Don't ask. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am really glad to see this project done. It has been a huge pain in the butt to get running and to get all the parts on. I mean, I had all the parts, but getting it put together so it actually functions, because I had boards, but then they wouldn't run the old card. I had boards, but then it wouldn't run the slow RAM. I had boards that would do that, but then they wouldn't take the Celeron. So everything is together in its crappiness and slowness. And yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. And like I say, I challenge you to build a slower machine. And if anybody has one of those 90 nanometer weird chips, definitely reach out. I'm definitely interested in it, as long as you don't want like some stupid money, because I'm not paying stupid money for it. Anyway, thanks again. Hope everybody enjoyed the video, and have a good one.